5. They don't do this with just anyone. Now, here's the part that makes this behavior even more meaningful. Cats are selective, very selective. If there are multiple people in your home, you might notice something interesting. Your cat doesn't follow everyone from room to room. They choose someone, often just one person. Animal cognition research shows that cats form primary attachment bonds, similar to how children attach to caregivers. Which means when your cat walks through the house with you, they're revealing something very specific. You're the person they trust most to navigate their world. Think about that for a second. Out of everyone around them, your cat picked you. Not randomly, but because your presence makes their environment feel predictable and safe. 6. This is actually a moment of vulnerability. And here's the part most cat owners never realize. Walking openly through territory is risky behavior for cats. Movement attracts attention. In the wild, it could expose them to predators or rivals, which means when your cat calmly walks beside you through the house, they're doing something remarkable. They're lowering their guard, because your presence makes them believe the environment is safe enough to move freely. Remember earlier when I said not to ignore it if this behavior suddenly changes? This is why. When a cat stops walking with their trusted human, it often means something in their world suddenly feels uncertain or unsafe. That quiet habit you barely noticed was actually a sign of deep trust the entire time. Closing. So, when your cat walks through the house with you, room to room, quietly keeping pace with your steps, do you actually know what they're trying to say? It isn't just curiosity, it isn't just habit, it's trust. Your cat is telling you that your presence makes their world feel safe enough to explore. That's not a small behavior. That's a deeply rooted instinct choosing you as the signal of safety, and that quiet moment when your cat walks beside you through the house. It was never small to them, and it shouldn't be small to you either. Why your cat only walks in the house with you? When your cat walks through the house only with you, do you actually know what they're trying to say? Yes, on the surface it feels sweet. Maybe even a little cute. Your cat follows you from room to room, quietly padding along the floor while you move around the house. But behind that closeness, there's something deeper that most people miss. It's actually one of the most emotionally intimate things your cat can do. And if you misunderstand it, which most owners do, you might completely miss what your cat has been trying to communicate every single day. Because when a cat chooses to walk with you through their territory, they aren't just being curious. They're revealing something about how they see you. Let's start with what that quiet little ritual really means. 1. It's not about curiosity, it's about security. Have you ever noticed how your cat seems perfectly calm walking through the house, but only when you're moving with them? Most people assume it's simple curiosity. They think the cat is just interested in what you're doing or hoping for food or attention. But here's what's actually happening. Cats are territorial animals. Every room in the house is part of their mental map of safety and risk. When your cat walks through those spaces with you, they're using you as a kind of emotional anchor. Your presence lowers their guard. Behavioral scientists who study feline stress responses have found that cats move more confidently through spaces when a trusted human is nearby. In other words, your cat isn't just following you. They're feeling safer because you're there. Think about that for a second. In their mind, you're not just the person who feeds them. You're part of the environment that makes the world feel secure. And here's where it gets even more meaningful. If your cat ever suddenly stops walking with you like this, don't brush it off. We'll come back to why that matters later. 2. Your cat is actually synchronizing with you now. Here's where science reveals something fascinating. A 2021 study from the University of Tokyo found that domestic cats adjust their movement patterns to match the humans they trust most. Researchers observed cats in home environments and discovered something unexpected. Cats weren't just randomly following owners. They were synchronizing their activity patterns with them. Here's what that means in simple terms. When you stand up and walk into another room, your cat's brain interprets that movement as a signal that the environment is safe to explore. So, they move with you, not behind you, with you. Think about that for a second. Your cat is literally aligning their behavior with yours because they trust your judgment about the environment. What makes this even more meaningful is that cats don't do this with everyone, and that leads to the next piece most owners completely miss. 3. Walking with you is a form of territory. Sharing. Here's what most people don't realize. Cats don't just walk through spaces randomly, they move through what they perceive as territory. And territory for cats is deeply tied to scent. Cats have scent glands on their cheeks, paws, and tail base that constantly leave invisible markers around their home. Animal behavior researchers call this scent mapping. But here's where it gets interesting. When your cat walks through the house with you repeatedly, they're reinforcing something powerful in their mind. They're treating you as part of the territory itself. In other words, you're not just someone inside their home, you're someone who belongs to it. Think about that for a second. To your cat, walking beside you through the house is like saying, "This is our space." And that quiet act of walking together is how they mentally confirm that bond every day. And hey, if this makes sense to you, hit like and subscribe. It helps us reach more cat lovers who actually want to understand what their cat is really saying. 4. This behavior comes from an ancient survival instinct. Now, here's where things get even deeper. This behavior actually traces back thousands of years. Wild cats evolved to move cautiously through territory because movement exposes them to predators and threats. But kittens learn something early in life. They follow their mother, not just for food, but because the mother's movement signals safety. Behavioral researchers studying feral cat colonies have observed kittens shadowing their mothers as they explore territory. It's a survival strategy. And when domestic cats form strong attachments to humans, something fascinating happens. That ancient instinct transfers to you. Your cat isn't just following you around the house. They're treating you like a trusted guide through the environment, which means, in their mind, you're playing a role that once belonged to the most important figure in their early life.